just got done with the vice presidential debate, and it was a good debate. It wasn't nearly as flashy or as entertaining as the Kamala Harris Donald Trump debate. Now, Tim Walz did appear nervous, and you could tell he was out of his element. This isn't his area. Um, he didn't seem necessarily flustered, but even all the way through, he never really settled back down and got a groove and got comfortable. He just kind of was trying to get the talking points out there while fact checking JD Vance. And I think he did a good job. He could have done better. I wish he would have gone after JD Vance and Donald Trump a lot more, a lot stronger, like he does at the rallies and just other interviews when he's off the cuff and he's not going with such a spotlight on him. Now, as for JD Vance, the thing JD Vance did well was he gave answers. He talked in complete sentences, unlike Donald Trump, who rambles and talks nonsense and comes up with things like concepts of a plan. Uh, but I don't think anything JD Vance said is going to shift the voters any which way. There was a lot of double speak um, talking about this, and he kept trying to lay the blame for everything at Kamala Harris's feet, but Kamala Harris isn't the president right now. He said that numerous times. It was Kamala Harris administration, her policies. Well, they aren't her policies. She is just part of Joe Biden's administration. And that's where JD Vance should know this, and I think he does know it. He's just hoping the American voter is too stupid to understand it, that she doesn't have a lot of authority. I've talked about that in numerous videos. But they like this talking point that she's been in power for 4 years. Why hasn't she done any of these things? Well, that's where I think he was stuck on that. And he kept going back to immigration. He kept going back to immigrants taking jobs and stuff, but he never gave definitive answers on anything, much like Donald Trump. When it came to like housing, he said, well, if we kick out the undocumented immigrants and we fix our immigration problem, there's going to be all kinds of housing available. Doesn't say how he's going to help make sure it's affordable or anything like that. Just that's his blame. He's scapegoating the immigrant community, things like that. The only thing JD Vance did well was he talked in complete sentences, and there was at least a level of some respect shown toward Tim Walz, and from Tim Walz to JD Vance at a couple points. So he did try a little better to come off as human. Still kind of seemed awkward, but he talked in complete sentences compared to Donald Trump. So for that, I would say he had a better debate than Donald Trump. And I could actually understand what everybody was saying for the most part. There wasn't a lot of rambling. It wasn't loud and screaming and everything like the show that we're used to with the Donald Trump debate. But ultimately, I think Tim Walz won. He could have done a lot of things better. JD Vance, well, I wouldn't say necessarily he didn't win the debate, but I don't think he necessarily lost it either, because he gave a better performance than Donald Trump would have given. I don't think this debate is going to shift the needle anyway, really politically. I don't see anybody out running out being super excited to vote for Donald Trump and JD Vance now after this debate. But I think JD Vance did just enough to keep people from running away from their ticket. If they were already going to vote for JD Vance and Donald Trump, I don't think this debate cost them any votes. Um, Now we'll see what happens in the coming days. Maybe the polls will tell me I'm wrong, but you know what I think about polls. So overall, it was a good old school debate. Seemed more like pre-Donald Trump politics, and it was much more boring compared to a Kamala Harris Donald Trump debate. But with JD Vance looking much better, this could go Donald Trump into being up for that October 23rd debate. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, like I said, it was a decent debate. Um, Talked a lot of policy. It felt like more of an old school debate. And that was kind of refreshing in this era of identity politics and argumentative politics and things like that. So that's just kind of my initial thoughts on it. Tim Walz did look a little nervous, but he still gave a good performance. And well, JD Vance didn't. help his image very much. I don't think he hurt it either, and he gave a better performance than Donald Trump.